We're now moving O2 section examples to the file system mock. We have a basic line reader that reads the contents of a file. We're testing, opens a file, reads the contents, returns the line that it finds. And we have another example using the with open and then the plain open where we open and close. So that's just reading a file. The data is stored up here in data text. They're just 2 lines in there. And when we come down to the testing, file mocking, there's an interesting article on reading and writing files, mocking them, Sam Hook. So there's a useful article there. If we go into test line reader, we're using from PyTest, we have our monkeypatch fixture built in. We're also importing PyTest raises, but we're creating a mock open. So we create a mock, we set the function of read line to the mock and its return value. And we're going to test to see whether these two actually need 2 lines. So we create a mock with a return value of this mock file. And what we're doing is we're changing the builtins.open to use our mock open rather than to use the open that we're using in our functions that we're testing. And we're just testing another little bit that it gives the correct string, asserting a different line. Again, we're creating a different way using monkeypatch and a mock open fixture. So we're setting this up as a fixture in PyTest and returning the mock open. So we use our fixture name here in our PyTest as well as monkeypatch. So we're mocking exists, return value of true, so the file does exist. We're changing the OS path exists to mock exists. So it points to that. We're reading from file and we're asserting it's called once with that file name and we're testing the result. And we're testing, doing the similar thing again, but testing that an exception occurs when there is a bad file. And here we're testing out the OS path exists with mock exists. So let's run those tests. First thing is if we just run that file line reader, we can see we're just printing out the first 2 lines. And if we do our test here, the test pass. Now let's actually, what we said we'll do, let's put in, let's just see if we actually can make this slightly different. If we just comment this out and just set it all in one, does that work? That seems to work too, so that's sort of optional almost. Because that's the main function, we're just breaking it down into steps, and we can see that mocks always returns a mock, so it's the same sort of object being, same sort of shape of object being returned, a mock. We're patching out the built-ins here, we're patching out OS path exists, and our raised exception. Is there anything else we need to do just to check while we're here? Let's console.print, and in fact what we need to do is if we come up and get rich, let's put that in, test line reader. So let's do a console.print of globals. Let's run this test again. And when we come back up, obviously we get the big dump. But if we come back down here and we see what's been added in the namespace, read from file function has been added. We have PyTest raises. We have our mock object. With reference to the built-ins. I think that's the patching going on there. Mock. Read from file. Well, in our line reader, we've got the function here, read from file. This is how we can patch it out, because we can see in our globals that we have a reference to that. It's easy then to repoint that to our mock function because it's in the globals in the modules. So, as I say, coming back down here, we can sort of see mock, magic mock. Will it work with just magic mock? Well, they all return mock back anyway. So if I do Control D, if I do mock, magic mock, for example, in there, and run our tests, magic mock is not defined. Okay, come back up. We run the tests, they all pass. So we can see basically that mock, magic mock, they all return this mock object, so it doesn't matter how you do it, but this is more for the dunder methods, magic mocks. So let's return that back to normal. Comment that out. Mock. All those pass. So this is an example how we can patch built-ins using PyTest and monkeypatch.